First contact. The Starship Horizon hung in orbit around Kepler 186f, a pale blue dot against the vast backdrop of space. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the viewport, her dark eyes fixed on the alien world below. After years of interstellar travel, they had finally reached their destination, the first Earth-like planet discovered outside our solar system. "Nervous, Captain," a deep voice rumbled behind her. Sarah turned to face her XO, Commander Marcus Reeves. His weathered face bore the scars of countless missions, a testament to humanity's relentless drive to explore the cosmos. Excited, Sarah corrected, a smile tugging at the corners of her mouth. "We're about to make history, Marcus, the first humans to set foot on an exoplanet." Marcus nodded, his expression serious. "Let's hope we don't screw it up." Sarah chuckled, appreciating her XO's grounding presence. "That's why we have protocols. We observe, we document, we don't interfere." Simple. If only it had been that simple. The dropship pierced Kepler 186's atmosphere, flames licking its heat shields as it descended towards the planet's surface. Inside, Sarah gripped her harness, adrenaline coursing through her veins. Beside her, the landing team, a mix of scientists and security personnel, sat in tense silence. As the ship touched down, Sarah took a deep breath, steeling herself for what lay ahead. "Remember," she said, addressing her team, "we're here to observe and gather data. No unnecessary risks. Stay alert, stay together." The airlock hissed open, and Sarah stepped out onto alien soil. The landscape before her was breathtaking, rolling hills covered in vegetation that shimmered with an otherworldly iridescence. Twin moons hung low in the lavender sky, casting an ethereal glow over the terrain. "It's beautiful," whispered Dr. Amelia Patel, the team's xenobiologist. Her dark eyes were wide with wonder as she took in the alien flora. "And potentially deadly," grunted Security Chief Ramos, his hand resting on his sidearm. "Let's not forget we're in uncharted territory." Sarah nodded, acknowledging both perspectives. "Fan out, but stay within visual range. Dr. Patel, start your scans. I want to know everything about this ecosystem." As the team dispersed, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. She scanned the horizon, searching for any sign of movement, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. Hours passed as they explored the immediate area around their landing site. The planet seemed to be teeming with life. Strange, insect-like creatures flitted between the iridescent plants, and in the distance, they heard calls that could only be from larger animals. It was as they were preparing to return to the dropship that everything changed. A piercing cry split the air, unlike anything they had heard before. The team froze, weapons raised, as a blur of movement erupted from the underbrush. "Hold your fire," Sarah shouted, even as her own hand flew to her weapon. The creature that emerged was unlike anything they had ever seen. It stood on two legs, its body covered in a shimmering scale-like skin that seemed to change color as it moved. Its face was oddly humanoid, with large, luminous eyes that regarded the humans with unmistakable intelligence. And it was not alone. More of the creatures appeared, surrounding the human team. They carried no visible weapons, but their stance was clearly defensive. Sarah's mind raced. This was far beyond anything they had prepared for. First contact with an intelligent alien species, it was the dream of every explorer and the nightmare of every diplomat. "Lower your weapons," she ordered her team, her voice steady despite the pounding of her heart. Slowly, she raised her empty hands, palms out in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. The lead alien, Sarah couldn't help but think of it as female, though she knew applying human concepts of gender to an alien species was problematic, took a step forward. She made a series of clicks and whistles that Sarah realized must be language. Dr. Patel fumbled with a translator, but it was useless. They had no baseline for the alien language. The alien leader tilted her head, studying Sarah intently. Then, to everyone's shock, she reached out and touched Sarah's face. The world exploded into color and sensation. Sarah gasped, overwhelmed by a flood of images and emotions that weren't her own. She saw glimpses of an alien civilization, soaring crystal spires, vast underground networks, strange rituals under the light of the twin moons. And through it all, a sense of desperate hope. As abruptly as it began, the connection ended. Sarah staggered, caught by Marcus before she could fall. "Captain," his voice was thick with concern. "Are you all right?" Sarah blinked, her vision clearing. The alien leader stood before her, those luminous eyes now filled with what Sarah could only describe as wonder. I think I understand," Sarah said slowly. "They're telepathic." She was trying to communicate. The alien made another series of clicks and whistles, but this time, Sarah felt she could almost grasp the meaning behind them. Not words, exactly, but concepts. Curiosity, caution, excitement. "We need to establish a dialogue," Sarah said, her explorer's instincts kicking in despite the unprecedented situation. "Dr. Patel, work with the translator. See if you can use this connection as a baseline." As the team scrambled to adapt to this new reality, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that everything had changed. They had come to Kepler 186 as seeking knowledge, but they had found so much more. The alien leader, whom Sarah had begun to think of as Aurora due to her shimmering, ever-changing skin, seemed equally fascinated by the humans. She led them to what appeared to be a settlement, a cluster of structures that blended seamlessly with the natural landscape. As they walked, Sarah tried to process everything she had seen in that brief mental connection. The aliens, the Lumina, as she learned they called themselves, were an ancient race, far more advanced than humanity in many ways. But they were also a dying species, their numbers dwindling due to some catastrophe Sarah couldn't quite grasp. The human presence on their world was both the source of hope and fear for the Lumina. They had been watching the horizon since it entered their star system, debating whether to make contact. "Why did you decide to reveal yourselves?" Sarah asked, forgetting for a moment that Aurora couldn't understand her words. To her surprise, Aurora responded, not in words, but in a burst of emotion and imagery that Sarah somehow understood. Curiosity had won out over caution. The Lumina hoped that contact with another spacefaring race might hold the key to their survival. As they entered the settlement, Sarah was struck by the organic nature of the structures. They seemed to grow from the ground itself, pulsing with an inner light that responded to the movements of the Lumina. Other aliens emerged to watch the procession, their luminous eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. Sarah noticed that many of them seemed frail, moving with a slowness that spoke of age or illness. Aurora led them to a central structure, larger and more elaborate than the others. Inside, a group of Lumina awaited them, clearly some kind of leadership council. As Sarah prepared to address this alien government, she felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. She was no longer just an explorer or a starship captain. At this moment, she was the representative of all humanity, about to engage in the most important diplomatic mission in history. "Dr. Petal," she said quietly, "is the translator making any progress?" Amelia nodded, her eyes never leaving her datapad. "I think so, Captain. It's using the telepathic connection as a baseline, combined with our observations of their verbal and non-verbal communication. It's not perfect, but it should allow for basic communication." Sarah took a deep breath, then stepped forward. She activated the translator and spoke, her words rendered into a series of clicks and whistles. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the Starship Horizon, representing the United Earth Alliance. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and understanding." The Council of Lumina conferred among themselves, their shimmering bodies pulsing with colors that Sarah suspected held meaning beyond mere aesthetics. Finally, one of them, distinguishable by intricate patterns that flowed across its skin, stepped forward. The translator crackled to life, rendering the alien's response into halting English. Welcome, Sky People. Long have we watched the stars, hoping for this day. We are the Lumina, keepers of the light. Your arrival brings both joy and trepidation. Sarah nodded, choosing her words carefully. We understand your caution. Our mission is one of peaceful exploration. We seek to learn about your world and your people, to exchange knowledge and culture. The lead counselor's skin rippled with what Sarah interpreted as approval. Knowledge is the foundation of understanding. But tell us, Sky Captain, what do you seek on our world? Why have you traveled so far from your home? It was a loaded question, one that cut to the heart of humanity's drive to explore. Sarah thought of the centuries of scientific advancement, the generations of dreamers and pioneers who had made this moment possible. We seek to expand the boundaries of our knowledge, Sarah replied, to understand the universe and our place within it. Your world is the first we found that could support life as we know it. We hope to learn from you, to see how life has evolved in a different star system. The counselor's eyes seemed to glow brighter. A noble goal, but be warned, Sky People, knowledge comes with responsibility. The secrets of our world are not to be taken lightly. Before Sarah could respond, Aurora stepped forward. She placed a hand on Sarah's arm, and once again the world exploded into sensation. This time, the images were clearer, more focused. Sarah saw the history of the Lumina unfold before her, their rise from primitive beings to a technologically advanced civilization, their harmony with their world, and then disaster. A great cataclysm, a shifting of the planet's core that released a wave of radiation, the Lumina's numbers dwindling, their children born weaker with each generation. Their desperate search for a cure, for a way to adapt to their changing world. And through it all, a growing awareness of something greater, a cosmic consciousness that the Lumina had only begun to tap into. As the vision faded, Sarah found herself on her knees, gasping for breath. The Council of Lumina surrounded her, their bodies pulsing with concern. You see now, Aurora said, her thoughts clear in Sarah's mind. While we both welcome and fear your coming, you may be our salvation, or you may bring destruction to all we have fought to preserve. Sarah stood slowly, her mind reeling from the implications of what she had seen. The Lumina were not just an alien species, they were custodians of knowledge that could reshape humanity's understanding of the universe. We had no idea, Sarah said, looking from Aurora to the Council. Your people, your world, it's beyond anything we imagined. We want to help if we can, but we also understand if you wish us to leave. The lead counselor stepped forward, its skin rippling with a complex pattern that the translator struggled to interpret. The coming of the Sky People was foretold in our oldest legends. It is said that they would either herald our rebirth or witness our final twilight. The choice, it seems, is yours. Sarah felt the weight of that choice pressing down on her. The fate of an entire species hung in the balance. But so too did the potential for humanity to take a quantum leap forward in their understanding of the cosmos. We choose cooperation, Sarah said firmly. We choose to learn from each other, to face the challenges of this world together. If you'll have us, we want to stay, to help in any way we can. The council conferred once more, their bodies shimmering with rapid color changes. Finally, the lead counselor turned back to Sarah. Then let it be so, it said. The Sky People are welcome on Lumina. But know this, the path ahead will not be easy. Our world holds many dangers, and the knowledge you seek comes at a great price. Sarah nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. We understand, and we're prepared to face those challenges together. As the formal meeting concluded, Sarah found herself drawn to Aurora. The alien's presence was comforting, somehow familiar despite its utter strangeness. There is much you must learn, Aurora communicated, her thoughts a gentle whisper in Sarah's mind. About our world, our people, and the greater truths that lie beyond the stars. Sarah smiled, her explorer's heart racing at the prospect of the unknown. We're ready to learn, and to share what we know in return. As they left the council chamber, Sarah knew that nothing would ever be the same. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. The real journey, she realized, was just beginning. The luminous bond. As the twin moons of Kepler 186 have cast their ethereal glow over the alien landscape, Sarah Chen found herself standing at the precipice of a discovery that would forever change the course of human history. The iridescent flora pulsed with bioluminescence, creating a breathtaking tapestry of light that mirrored the star-studded sky above. "Captain, you need to see this," Dr. Amelia Patel's voice crackled through Sarah's comm unit, tinged with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. Sarah made her way to the makeshift lab they had set up on the outskirts of the luminous settlement. As she entered, she was greeted by a sight that made her breath catch in her throat. Floating in a containment field was a small, crystalline structure that seemed to defy the laws of physics. "What am I looking at, Doctor?" Sarah asked, her eyes fixed on the gently rotating object. Amelia's eyes sparkled with unbridled enthusiasm. "We're calling it a quantum seed. It's unlike anything we've ever encountered. The Lumina use these to store and transmit vast amounts of information, not just data, but entire consciousnesses." Sarah's mind reeled at the implications. "Are you saying they can transfer their minds into these seeds?" "Not just transfer," Amelia corrected, her voice dropping to a reverent whisper. "They can merge with them, becoming one with the cosmic consciousness they call the luminous void. It's how they've preserved their history, their knowledge, everything." As if on cue, Aurora glided into the lab, her shimmering form casting prismatic reflections across the equipment. She approached the quantum seed, her luminous eyes filled with a mixture of sorrow and hope. "This is the key to our salvation," Aurora communicated directly into Sarah's mind. "And perhaps to yours as well." Sarah felt a shiver run down her spine. "What do you mean, Aurora?" The alien's form rippled with complex patterns, conveying emotions too nuanced for words. "Your people seek to conquer the stars through machines and technology. We have learned to become one with the universe itself, but our physical forms are failing. We need your help to bridge the gap between flesh and energy." The implications were staggering. Sarah's mind raced with the possibilities and the dangers. "You're talking about transcendence," she breathed. "The merging of organic life with pure energy." Aurora's affirmation came not in words, but in a flood of imagery that overwhelmed Sarah's senses. She saw countless civilizations rising and falling across the cosmos, each one grappling with the fundamental questions of existence. And through it all, a common thread, the journey from matter to energy, from the physical to the metaphysical. "But why us?" Sarah asked, struggling to process the enormity of what she was being shown. "Why did you choose to reveal this to humans?" Aurora's response was tinged with both amusement and gravity. "You were not chosen, Sarah Chen. You chose yourselves. Your insatiable curiosity, your drive to explore, it led you here, to this moment. Now you must decide what to do with the knowledge we offer." As if to underscore Aurora's words, alarms suddenly blared throughout the lab. Sarah rushed to the nearest console, her heart pounding. "What's happening?" Amelia's fingers flew across the holographic interface. "Massive energy spike from the planet's core. It's destabilizing." The ground beneath them trembled, and Sarah realized with a sinking feeling that the catastrophe the Lumina had been preparing for was upon them. She turned to Aurora, her voice tight with urgency. "Is this what happened before? The cataclysm that nearly wiped out your people?" Aurora's form flickered, her usual radiance dimming. "It is the planet's cycle. The core shifts, releasing waves of energy that reshape the surface. We had hoped for more time to prepare." Sarah's mind raced. They couldn't evacuate an entire civilization to the horizon. There simply wasn't enough room or resources. But if what Aurora had shown her about the quantum seeds was true— "The seeds," Sarah said, her voice filled with sudden determination. "Can they preserve your people? All of you?" Aurora's eyes widened with understanding. Yes, but the process is not without risk. And once done, we would need a new home, a place where we could be reborn. Sarah felt the weight of an entire species' fate resting on her shoulders. The decision she made now would not only alter the course of Lumina history, but potentially reshape the future of humanity as well. "We'll do it," Sarah declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "We'll help you transfer your people into the quantum seeds, and we'll take you with us, find you a new world where you can start again." As if in response to her words, the tremors intensified. Through the lab's windows, Sarah could see fissures opening in the ground, spewing forth geysers of luminescent energy. "There's no time to waste," she barked, slipping into the role of command. "Amelia, work with the Lumina. I want every scrap of data on these quantum seeds and the transfer process. Marcus, get the team ready for emergency evac. We're going to have to move fast." As the humans scrambled to action, Sarah felt a gentle touch on her arm. She turned to find Aurora regarding her with an intensity that seemed to pierce her very soul. "You understand that this change will not be one-sided," Aurora communicated. "The merging of our civilizations will transform both of us. Are you prepared for what that might mean?" Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history pressing down upon her. "I don't think anyone can truly be prepared for something like this," she admitted. "But I know that turning back is not an option. Whatever comes, we'll face it together." Aurora's form seemed to glow brighter at Sarah's words. "Then let us begin the great merging. May the luminous void guide us all." As the planet convulsed around them, humans and Lumina worked feverishly to enact a plan that would irrevocably alter the destiny of both species. The air crackled with energy, both from the geological upheaval and from the monumental technological and spiritual undertaking unfolding within the lab. One by one, the Lumina began to merge with the quantum seeds, their physical forms dissolving into pure energy. The process was beautiful and terrifying to behold, each transformation accompanied by a burst of light that seemed to contain entire galaxies. Sarah stood at the heart of it all, coordinating the efforts of her team while marveling at the cosmic dance unfolding before her eyes. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was witnessing the birth of something entirely new, a hybrid civilization that combined the best aspects of both humanity and the Lumina. As the last of the Lumina prepared to make the transition, Aurora approached Sarah once more. "The time has come for me to join my people," she communicated, her thoughts tinged with both sadness and excitement. "But before I go, I offer you a choice, Sarah Chen." Sarah met Aurora's gaze, sensing the gravity of the moment. "What choice?" "You can remain as you are, an observer, a guardian of our legacy," Aurora explained. "Or you can join us. Become a bridge between our worlds, the first human to truly touch the cosmic consciousness." The offer took Sarah's breath away. It was tempting, the chance to experience the universe in ways she had never imagined. But the responsibility she felt towards her crew, towards humanity, weighed heavily on her. Before she could respond, another violent tremor shook the lab. Warning klaxons blared as Amelia shouted, "Captain, the planet's core is reaching critical instability. We need to leave now." Sarah locked eyes with Aurora, making her decision in a heartbeat. "I can't join you, not yet. My people need me here, in this form. But I promise you, Aurora, this is not goodbye, it's just the beginning." Aurora's form shimmered with what Sarah now recognized as joy. "Then carry us with you, Sarah Chen. Let your heart be the vessel that brings two worlds together." With a final, blinding flash of light, Aurora merged with the last quantum seed. Sarah cradled the crystalline structure in her hands, feeling the weight of an entire civilization and the promise of a new future within its facets. "All seeds secured, Captain," Amelia reported as the lab equipment sparked and sizzled around them. "Then let's get the hell out of here," Sarah ordered, clutching the quantum seeds close as she led her team towards the waiting dropship. As they lifted off from the disintegrating surface of Kepler 186, Sarah watched through the viewport as the world that had changed everything crumbled beneath them. But even as one chapter came to a close, she knew that an even greater adventure was just beginning. The horizon awaited, ready to carry them, human and Lumina alike, into a future bright with possibility and fraught with challenges yet unimagined. As the dropship docked with the mothership, Sarah allowed herself a moment to marvel at the journey ahead. Set a course for home, she instructed the bridge crew, her voice filled with quiet determination. We have a lot of work to do. As the horizon engaged its faster-than-light drive, leaving the Kepler system behind in a burst of quantum energy, Sarah felt the quantum seeds pulse with life against her chest. Somehow, she knew that this was more than just first contact or a rescue mission. It was the dawn of a new era for both species, an era of luminous possibilities that would reshape the very fabric of the cosmos. Quantum entanglement of souls. The horizon streaked through the cosmic void, its quantum drive humming with energy as it carried its precious cargo, both human and Lumina, towards Earth. Captain Sarah Chen stood in the ship's newly christened luminous chamber, a room specially designed to house the quantum seeds containing the essence of the luminous civilization. Captain's log, stardate 215789. Sarah spoke into her neural recorder. It's been 3 weeks since we left Kepler 186f. The quantum seeds remain stable, but their energy output is evolving. Dr. Patel believes we're witnessing the birth of a new form of consciousness. As if in response to her words, the quantum seeds pulsed with an otherworldly light, their crystalline structures shifting in mesmerizing patterns. Sarah approached the containment field, her hand hovering just above its surface. She could feel the energy radiating from the seeds, a tingling sensation that seemed to resonate with something deep within her. You feel it too, don't you? Dr. Amelia Patel's voice came from behind her. The xenobiologist's eyes were rimmed with dark circles, evidence of the long hours she'd been spending studying the seeds. Sarah nodded, her gaze still fixed on the shimmering crystals. It's like they're calling to me, trying to communicate. Amelia's expression was a mixture of excitement and concern. It's not just you, Captain. Several crew members have reported similar sensations. I think the seeds are reaching out, trying to establish some kind of quantum entanglement with our consciousness. Before Sarah could respond, a blinding flash of light erupted from the seeds, engulfing the room. When it faded, Sarah found herself standing in a vast, star-filled void. But these weren't just any stars. Each point of light pulsed with life, with consciousness. Welcome, Sarah Chen, a familiar voice echoed through the cosmic expanse. Aurora materialized before her, her form now a swirling vortex of energy and light. You stand at the threshold of the luminous void, the realm where thought and energy become one. Sarah's mind reeled, struggling to comprehend the enormity of what she was experiencing. Is this real, or am I hallucinating? Aurora's laughter rippled through the fabric of space itself. Reality, illusion. These are limited concepts, shackles of the physical realm. Here, in the quantum nexus, all possibilities exist simultaneously. As if to illustrate her point, the starscape around them shifted, transforming into a breathtaking tapestry of interconnected worlds and civilizations. Sarah saw countless alien races, some familiar from Earth's speculative fiction, others beyond her wildest imagination. The Lumina have long been guardians of this cosmic network, Aurora explained, but our physical forms were never meant to last eternally. We needed a bridge, a way to connect the quantum realm with the physical universe. Realization dawned on Sarah. That's why you revealed yourselves to us. You needed humanity's unique blend of scientific knowledge and, what? Our spiritual potential. Aurora's form pulsed with approval. Precisely. Your species stands at a crucial juncture, poised between the physical and the metaphysical. You have the capacity to become true citizens of the multiverse, to transcend the limitations of your current existence. The implications were staggering. Sarah's mind raced with the possibilities and the potential dangers. But why now? Why us? The cosmic landscape shifted again, this time revealing a looming threat, a vast, dark entity that seemed to devour light and life itself. The void hunger approaches. Aurora's voice was tinged with urgency. An ancient force that seeks to unravel the very fabric of reality. The Lumina have held it at bay for eons, but our strength wanes. We need humanity's unique spark to tip the balance. Sarah felt the weight of this revelation settling on her shoulders. It was one thing to make first contact with an alien species, to save them from a dying world. But this was beyond anything she had ever imagined. "What do you need us to do?" she asked, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her mind. Aurora's form expanded, enveloping Sarah in a cocoon of living light. "We must merge our consciousnesses, create a new hybrid species that can navigate both the physical and quantum realms. But the choice must be freely made by each individual." The cosmic vision began to fade, the luminous chamber slowly coming back into focus. Sarah found herself back on the horizon, gasping for breath as her mind struggled to process what she had experienced. "Captain, Captain," Amelia's worried voice cut through the haze. "Are you all right? You just froze for a moment." Sarah blinked, her senses gradually returning to normal, but she could still feel the echo of the quantum nexus, a faint resonance that seemed to connect her to something vast and incomprehensible. "I'm fine," she managed, her voice hoarse. "But we need to call an emergency meeting. Now." As the senior staff assembled in the briefing room, Sarah tried to find the words to explain what she had experienced. How do you tell your crew that they're about to become the front line in a cosmic war they never knew existed? "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, her gaze sweeping across the familiar faces of her team. "What I'm about to tell you will sound impossible, perhaps even insane, but I assure you, it's very real, and it's going to change everything." Over the next hour, Sarah laid out everything Aurora had shown her: the quantum nexus, the approaching void hunger, and the proposed merging of human and Lumina consciousness. As she spoke, she could see the mix of emotions playing across her crew's faces: disbelief, fear, excitement, and awe. "So let me get this straight," Commander Marcus Reeves said, his brow furrowed in concentration. "These aliens want us to, what? Become some kind of hybrid super beings to fight a cosmic horror?" Sarah nodded, understanding his skepticism. "I know how it sounds, Marcus, but I've seen it, felt it. This is real, and it's bigger than anything we've ever faced." Dr. Purtell leaned forward, her eyes shining with scientific curiosity. "The quantum entanglement I've been detecting, it's not just communication, is it? It's preparation for this merging." "I believe so," Sarah confirmed. But Aurora was clear: this has to be a choice. We can't force anyone to undergo this transformation. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. They had left Earth as explorers, seeking new worlds and new civilizations. Now they stood on the brink of becoming something entirely new themselves. What about Earth? Lieutenant Kira Chen, the ship's pilot and Sarah's younger sister, asked. "Do we tell them what's coming?" Sarah sighed, running a hand through her hair. "We have to, but carefully. If we're not cautious, we could cause global panic." As the discussion continued, debating the best course of action, Sarah felt a familiar tingling sensation. She turned to see the quantum seeds pulsing in their containment field, visible through the briefing room's window. A voice, not Aurora's, but a chorus of countless Lumina consciousnesses, whispered in her mind. "The time approaches, Sarah Chen. The void hunger stirs. We must prepare." Sarah stood, her decision made. "All right, people, we have work to do. Amelia, I want you to continue studying the quantum seeds. See if you can develop a safe method for initiating the merging process. Marcus, start drafting protocols for how we'll approach Earth with this information. Kira, plot the fastest course home. We're going to need every second." As her crew sprang into action, Sarah turned back to the window, gazing at the star-streaked vista of faster-than-light travel. She placed her hand against the cool glass, feeling the hum of the ship beneath her palm. "I hope we're ready for this," she murmured to herself. Because ready or not, the future of two species, maybe the entire universe, is in our hands. The horizon surged onward through the cosmic night, carrying with it the seeds of a new destiny for humanity. The quantum entanglement of souls had begun, and with it, the next chapter in the evolution of consciousness itself. As the ship disappeared into the quantum slipstream, a faint otherworldly glow emanated from its hull, the first visible sign of the transformation that was to come. The cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the birth of a new hybrid species that would challenge the very nature of reality itself. The journey home had become a race against time, with the fate of the multiverse hanging in the balance. And at the heart of it all stood Sarah Chen, a human captain on the verge of becoming something far greater, a bridge between worlds, a guardian of the quantum nexus, and perhaps the key to saving all of existence from the encroaching void hunger. Cosmic convergence. The horizon emerged from hyperspace in a burst of quantum energy, Earth's familiar blue sphere filling the view screen. But to Sarah Chen's newly heightened senses, her homeworld now pulsed with previously invisible threads of cosmic energy, a vibrant node in the vast network of the quantum nexus. "Home sweet home," Lieutenant Kira Chen murmured, her fingers dancing across the helm controls. "Though it doesn't quite feel the same, does it, sis?" Sarah nodded, understanding the mix of emotions in her sister's voice. The quantum merging process had begun during their journey, transforming the crew in subtle yet profound ways. They were no longer just human, but something new, hybrid beings with one foot in the physical world and another in the quantum realm. "Captain," the ship's AI intoned, its voice tinged with a new, almost organic quality, "we're being hailed by United Earth Command. They're demanding an explanation for our anomalous energy signature." Sarah took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenges ahead. "Put them through." Admiral Zaya's holographic form materialized on the bridge, his expression a mix of relief and suspicion. "Captain Chen, your unexpected return has caused quite a stir. Our sensors detected your approach long before you dropped out of hyperspace. Care to explain what's happened to your ship and your crew?" Sarah met the Admiral's gaze steadily. "Sir, we've made first contact with an advanced alien species called the Lumina. What we've discovered, it changes everything. I respectfully request an emergency session with the Global Council. The fate of humanity, of the entire universe, hangs in the balance." The Admiral's eyebrows shot up, but to his credit, he quickly composed himself. "Granted, Captain, but I want you and your senior staff in isolation and full debrief before we even think about letting you planetside. Whatever you've brought back with you, we need to be sure it's not a threat." "Understood, sir," Sarah replied, even as she felt a ripple of amusement from the Lumina consciousness merged with her own. If only they knew the real threat that was coming. As the horizon docked with the orbital quarantine station, Sarah could feel the anxiety radiating from the Earth below. News of their return had leaked, and speculation was running wild. She only hoped they could make humanity understand before it was too late. The debriefing process was grueling, a battery of tests and interviews that stretched on for days. Sarah and her crew tried to explain the Lumina, the quantum nexus, and the looming threat of the void hunger. But how do you convey the majesty and terror of cosmic truths to minds still bound by conventional physics? It was Dr. Amelia Potel who finally broke through the skepticism. In a stroke of brilliance, she linked the quantum seeds to Earth's most advanced quantum computer, creating a visual representation of the nexus that even the most hardened bureaucrat couldn't deny. As the holographic display filled the briefing room, gasps of awe echoed from the assembled officials. The universe as they knew it fell away, replaced by a shimmering web of interconnected realities, pulsing with life and consciousness. "My God," one of the counselors whispered, "it's beautiful." "And in danger," Sarah added gravely. She gestured to a creeping darkness at the edges of the display. "This is the void hunger, It's consuming entire realities, and it's heading straight for us. The mood in the room shifted from wonder to fear. What can we do? Admiral Zhao demanded. How do we fight something like that? Sarah took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth. We evolve, she said simply. The Lumina have offered us a chance to merge our consciousness with theirs, to become a hybrid species capable of defending the quantum nexus. But it has to be a choice, freely made by each individual. The uproar was immediate. Shouts of impossible and too dangerous filled the air. But Sarah stood her ground, her newly enhanced senses allowing her to project a calm certainty that slowly quieted the room. I know it sounds impossible, she said softly, her voice carrying to every corner. But look at us. She gestured to her crew, their eyes now shimmering with an inner light that wasn't quite human. We've already begun the process, and I can assure you, we're still ourselves. We're still human. We're just more. As the debate raged on, a new voice suddenly cut through the chaos. Perhaps a demonstration is in order. All eyes turned to Dr. Patel, who had been silent until now. With a serene smile, she stepped into the center of the holographic display. As the assembled officials watched in stunned silence, Amelia's form began to shimmer and dissolve, merging with the quantum energies swirling around her. For a breathless moment, she seemed to disappear entirely. Then, with a flash of light that momentarily blinded everyone in the room, she reappeared, but changed. Her body now pulsed with the same iridescent energy as the Lumina, and her eyes held the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. This is the gift the Lumina offer. Amelia's voice resonated with newfound power. The ability to transcend our physical limitations, to touch the very fabric of reality itself. But more than that, it's the key to our survival, and the survival of countless other species across the multiverse. The room fell into a hushed silence, the implications of what they had just witnessed sinking in. Sarah stepped forward, standing beside her transformed colleague. The choice is yours, she addressed the council, her voice firm but compassionate. But know this, the void hunger is coming, whether we're ready or not. We can face it as we are, bound by the limits of our current existence. Or we can evolve, becoming something greater than we ever imagined possible. As if in response to her words, the quantum seeds they had brought from Kepler 186 have begun to pulse with blinding light. The energy spread, enveloping the entire station in a cocoon of shimmering quantum potential. Around the world, people looked up in awe as the night sky was suddenly illuminated by a web of light, the physical manifestation of the quantum nexus becoming visible to every human eye. In that moment, the truth of humanity's place in the cosmos became undeniable. Phones rang, social media exploded, and news anchors struggled to describe what they were seeing. But amidst the chaos, a strange calm began to settle over the planet. People from all walks of life reported feeling a sense of connection, of purpose, that transcended their individual concerns. Back in the briefing room, Admiral Zhao stepped forward, his face a mask of determination. "What do you need from us, Captain Chen?" Sarah smiled, feeling the first stirrings of hope. "Prepare humanity for transformation, Admiral. It's time for us to take our place among the cosmos." As the words left her lips, a surge of energy pulsed through the quantum nexus. Across the Earth, millions of people suddenly found their consciousness expanded, touching the vast web of reality for the first time. The age of cosmic convergence had begun. In orbit, the horizon's quantum drive suddenly flared to life, responding to some unseen signal. Sarah felt a pull, a calling from the depths of space. "Admiral," she said, her voice tight with urgency, "we need to go. Now, the final battle is about to begin, and Earth must be ready." As the horizon prepared to depart, carrying with it the seeds of humanity's transformation, a new chapter in the story of the universe was about to unfold. The void hunger approached, but for the first time in eons, the forces of life and consciousness stood united against the encroaching darkness. The cosmic chess game had entered its final decisive phase, and humanity, guided by the wisdom of the Lumina and their own indomitable spirit, was poised to make the move that would determine the fate of all existence. Transcendence Horizon. The Horizon rocketed through the quantum slipstream, its hull pulsating with newfound energy. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the helm, her consciousness simultaneously aware of every atom in her body and every star in the galaxy. The crew, now fully merged with Lumina essence, operated as a single, magnificent entity. Quantum breach detected. Kira's voice resonated through their shared mental link. The void hunger approaches. Before them, space itself began to tear. A yawning chasm of absolute nothingness threatened to swallow everything in its path. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. This was the enemy they had prepared for, yet its sheer scale was beyond comprehension. Initiate Protocol Omega, Sarah commanded, her thoughts rippling through the ship's neural network. It's time to show this cosmic abomination what humanity is truly capable of. The Horizon's quantum drive hummed to life, but this was no ordinary faster-than-light jump. Drawing upon the combined power of human ingenuity and Lumina wisdom, the ship began to transform. Its hull stretched and morphed, becoming a living lattice of energy that mirrored the structure of the quantum nexus itself. Hyperdimensional shift complete, Dr. Patel reported, her form now a swirling vortex of data and light. We exist simultaneously across multiple realities. The void can't pin us down. Sarah nodded, feeling the exhilaration of their newfound state of being. Excellent. Now, let's take the fight to them. Engage quantum lances. Beams of pure consciousness lanced out from the horizon, each one carrying the combined will of billions of minds, human and Lumina alike. Where they struck the encroaching darkness, reality itself seemed to reassert itself, pushing back against the tide of oblivion. But the void hunger was relentless. Tendrils of non-existence lashed out, seeking to unravel the very fabric of their being. Sarah gritted her teeth, feeling the strain of holding their composite form together against the onslaught. We need more power, Marcus shouted, his thoughts tinged with desperation. We can't hold this form indefinitely. Suddenly, a new presence made itself known in their shared consciousness. You are not alone, Aurora's familiar voice echoed through their minds. The Lumina have watched over the cosmos for eons. Now, it's time for us to join the battle directly. A blinding flash of light erupted behind them. Sarah turned to see a sight that took her breath away. A vast armada of ships, each one a living constellation of Lumina consciousness. They had emerged from the quantum seeds, finally taking physical form to stand alongside their human allies. Together, Aurora's voice rang out, we will rewrite the laws of reality itself. The Lumina fleet merged with the Horizon, their combined energies creating a hyperdimensional lattice that spanned galaxies. Sarah felt her consciousness expand even further, touching minds across countless worlds. She realized with a start that this was more than just a battle. It was the birth of a new form of life, one that transcended the boundaries between energy and matter, thought and form. All units, converge on the void's epicenter. Sarah commanded, her voice carrying the weight of 1 trillion souls. We end this now. The newly forged alliance surged forward, a tidal wave of life and light crashing against the shores of oblivion. Reality itself seemed to bend and warp around them as they pushed deeper into the heart of the void hunger. But even as they advanced, Sarah sensed a growing unease. This entity, this cosmic cancer, it wasn't just trying to destroy, it was searching for something. Wait, she called out, her realization spreading through the collective consciousness. The void hunger, it's not just a force of destruction, it's lonely, lost. In that moment of clarity, Sarah understood. The void hunger was the universe's cry for balance, the necessary counterpoint to the explosion of life and consciousness. It wasn't evil, it was essential. We've been looking at this all wrong, Sarah broadcast to the Alliance. We don't need to destroy the void. We need to embrace it. to show it that it's part of the great cosmic dance, just like we are. Understanding rippled through the collective. Weapons of thought and energy were lowered, replaced by tendrils of empathy and acceptance. The horizon, now the living embodiment of the entire alliance, reached out to touch the very heart of the void. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a soundless roar that shook the foundations of reality, the void hunger responded. Darkness and light intertwined, matter and energy danced in perfect harmony. The universe itself seemed to take a deep, shuddering breath. When the cosmic dust settled, Sarah found herself back on the horizon's bridge, but forever changed. The ship now existed in a state of quantum superposition, simultaneously everywhere and nowhere, and through the viewscreen she saw a universe reborn. Galaxies sparkled with new life, their spiral arms now interwoven with threads of living darkness. The void hunger had not been destroyed, but transformed, integrated into the very fabric of existence as a vital, conscious part of the cosmic ecosystem. "We did it," Kira whispered, her voice filled with awe. "We actually did it." Sarah nodded, feeling the weight of their accomplishments settle over her. "We didn't just save the universe," she said softly. "We evolved it, and ourselves along with it." As the horizon prepared to return to Earth, Sarah knew that nothing would ever be the same. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, becoming part of a grand cosmic community that spanned dimensions. The journey of transcendence was far from over. New challenges, new wonders, and new frontiers awaited them. But for the first time in her life, Sarah Chen felt truly, completely at home in the vastness of space. "Set a course for Earth," she commanded, a smile playing on her lips. "It's time to show humanity the true face of the cosmos, and our place within it." As the horizon vanished into the quantum slipstream, the stars themselves seemed to twinkle with newfound purpose. The age of cosmic enlightenment had begun, and the universe would never be the same again.